Everything you think you know about aging is wrong. Aging is not a downward spiral. On the contrary, it's an upward surge if you embrace it. I was a card-carrying ageist, and I had bought into all the grim stereotypes. And of course, I think probably top of the list of the myths of aging is that later life is depressing. Think of all the words we use when we talk about older people. So sad, grumpy, cranky, crotchety, but actually untrue, because human beings follow what's called a U-shaped happiness curve. So we start high in childhood, we fall steadily till we bottom out in middle age, and then we bounce back up again, so that the adults around the world that report the highest levels of happiness and life satisfaction are the over 55. And actually scientists have found a similar U-shaped happiness curve in chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans, which suggests that a happiness boost in later life is coded into our primate genes, right? So rather than looking forward to later life and thinking, oh dear, I got to do all my happy stuff now because the second half is all doom and gloom. Totally wrong. The science is completely against you on that. You're actually looking at a brighter, chirpier, happier future. There are a lot of theories of why we get happier in later life. One of them is this sort of evolutionary biology idea that in the distant past, our ancestors were more likely to flourish as a tribe or a clan if they had happy grandparents, right? Upbeat grandparents. Because if you had a grandparent sitting in the corner of the cave, grumbling constantly about sore knees and the fact that life was better 10 years ago, that's not so good for the survival of the tribe. But if you've got a more upbeat grandparent who's seeing the glass half full, the tribe is more likely to survive and thrive. So this could be an evolutionary thing as well. People often say, well, what else is going on here in the modern world? And I think one reason that we feel happier in later life is that as we get into the second half of our lives, and anyone over the age of 40, I think will recognize this phenomenon, you feel less beholden to other people's expectations, less like you have to tiptoe around other people's opinions. I mean, Anne Landers, you remember the legendary agony aunt, she once said that at 20, we worry about what other people think of us. At 40, we stop worrying about what other people think of us. At 60, we realize they were never thinking of us at all, right? Which I think kind of gets at that sense of, what's the right word, lightness or freedom that comes upon us in the second half of our lives. We feel freed up just to do what works for us, what lights us up, rather than feeling we've got to tick other people's boxes. And that's just such a liberation. That gives you silver wings upon which you can fly aloft in the last decades of life. I mean, there's so much happiness out there. It seems to be a criminal waste to go around buying into this wrong idea that aging is sad, because it's not. Doesn't have to be. My earlier work, which I still do plenty of on slow movement and so on, my first book was called In Praise of Slow, could very easily have been called In Praise of No, because it's about having, you use the word agency, it's having the courage, the discipline, and the imagination to stand up and say, no, this doesn't serve me. This doesn't serve any higher purpose that I ascribe to. This is pointless. It's a waste of my time and everyone else's time, and I'm not going to do it. And that's something I think that we can do at any age. We can step up to and join Team No, but it gets easier as we become more self-confident, more at ease in our own skin, more comfortable with ourselves and who we are in the world. So that's, I think, another one of the benefits of later life. You feel that self-confidence, that freedom to do your own thing, and that allows you to embrace that sort of agency, to say, you know what, the world is the way it is around me, but I've got some scope here to change it. I can even just send out one little ripple, and then someone else sends out a ripple, and a few other people do, and pretty soon we've created a wave, right? And I think that's something to hold on to, that especially in a world that feels enormous, almost infinite with social media, you feel you're getting everything you do and say gets drowned out in a tsunami of other people's similar opinions and pictures and videos and tweets, that actually one step, one gesture by one person makes a difference. And it makes a difference not just in your life, but in lives around you. And I think that is so powerful. That is the cornerstone of our humanity, is knowing that we are not alone. No man, no woman is an island. We are all connected. So whatever you do, especially do the right thing, it's going to ripple out through other people and then ripple further and become bigger until the whole world changes.